Yeah, hello?
Yeah, this is a Pastrami sandwich podcast. How may I take your order?
Yeah, I called for another podcast.
Well, we back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Matthew, and
Jude.
we're going to be talking about the hype beast culture. We're going to be talking about fashion. We're going to be talking about sneakers. So for all y'all simps that don't like any of that stuff, exit now. The exit sign is to the front and the back of this ride. And those of you that want to stay,
Yeah, strapped in.
Keep your hands and feet in the ride at all times, please. No flash photography. Okay, so
And if you want to give me a DM, my DMs are open.
Dude, shut up. So we're gonna be more talking about how the hypebeast culture and streetwear and that type of fashion has influenced many people, more specifically regions such as like New York. And we're going to be just talking about why people are interested in it, what makes it so special, why does it have such a huge following, and all the impact and like the money behind it. So Jude, my co-host, he's more into that world. I've dabbled, I've been involved here and there with like sneakers and clothes. Not so much as Jude. Jude buys all the Tell him. You know what? Tell him. What are you interested in? What do you like about the hype beast?
So, like, mostly about, like, hype beast stuff. Like, there are always positives and negatives to anything. But I just like how, like, the hype beast culture and fashion in general, you just can express yourself through your clothing and just be like, oh, this is me. I'm going to do me. And you could do me.
My God, that's... So
no homo.
No homo. I bet we out. We out. All right, bet. So when did you get into this? Like, why are you interested? I almost feel like it was like overnight, like a few years ago. You just started.
Yeah, it
like,
wasn't really like that. It was just like I had some friends at college that showed me about it, and I don't know. I just figured out and I learned how to like buy and sell, and from there I ended up buying things to keep and. I just do me.
Wait, so did you start off because of like you wanted to buy and sell stuff and you wanted to like make that whole wheat non-GMO bread? You wanted to make that bread?
Nah, yeah. At first I got into it because like it's very lucrative. So I got into it for that. And then the more you look at it every day and you looking at different types of clothing, different brands and stuff like that, you start liking the things you see and you start wanting to grab for yourself instead of selling. So that's how you just get into it slowly, and then it's a downhill spiral from there.
Downhill spiral.
Say bye to your bank account.
So I know you started off with shoes. Shoes was like...
Yeah, so I started off on Nike and then got into Adidas, just like the Jordans and stuff like that, hype collaborations with different musicians and artists and whatnot. And from there, you just expand.
So would you say that like, if you had, all right, so let's say if you had a great pair of shoes, but the rest of your clothes was garbage. You were wearing like nothing important as shorts or pants or whatever, and your t-shirt's not that great or whatever. But you have nice shoes. Could that save an outfit? Or do you think like let's say your shoes are great, but shirt and pants are trash. Is that better than having a great shirt and pants but trashy shoes? Like do the shoes sort of save someone's outfit? Yeah, does it like...
Not necessarily. It's not like about how much money you spend on clothing, it's how you style it. You know, like you can go to H&M, you can go to like American Outfitters or whatever. Like you can just go to a mall and just pay not that much for clothing and have fire shoes and that outfit could work. Or you could have shitty shoes and nice clothes. That outfit can work too. It's just how you style things, like colors and styles and stuff like that, and earrings and jewelry and stuff like that. It's just how you style it.
So it has to be style over like how much money, basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so...
But that's not hypebeast culture. That's just fashion in general.
All right, so hypebeast culture and stuff like that. when did you realize you wanted to dive deeper into it? Because I mean, you started with the money, but like when were you first caressed and lightly touched by the culture?
Hey yo, hey yo. But I don't know. It's just like my friends at college, they like introduced me to it. And then just the more research I did, the more pieces I saw, I just liked it more and more. Not only because like you could sell it and make a decent chunk of money, but it's I don't know, I just feel like I learned to like it, you know. I wasn't that super into clothing before. Like I did have an eye for some pieces, but not until like really college till I got super into it.
Okay, so let's first. I'm gonna assume that there are some viewers out there that don't really know the hype beast culture. They don't really know like the fashion industry. They don't really know what to do. Let's say you get a hype beast virgin. Is their cherry has not been popped, and let's say they're interested in it. They see Travis Scott and Meek Mill and all the rappers, and they want to be like them. What?
Why did you sound so white? Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right. What? How do you think they should like
Start?
navigate? Like where do they start? Do they start with like going to So should they start like thrift shopping? Should they go and watch YouTube videos? Like how would you tell someone to start navigating all this?
So the first thing is just know what you like. You know, like if you go and follow like fashion pages on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media, figure out like a style that you like to wear. Like if it's streetwear, if it's like only designer brands, if it's like Paris Fashion Week, stuff like that. Like just know the style that you like. And then from there, figure out the brands that those people in those pictures are wearing and try and find those brands in like stores or thrift shops or whatever, whatever floats your boat. But just figure out first of all what style you like to wear and then figure out the brands. And then from there you can either pay a lot of money or pay not that much money. It depends on what you like to style and what you like to wear.
Okay. Um. Well, is there any? Are there any like downsides to getting in this sort of um? What is it like? Group or this culture
I
or
mean, there always is in everything because, like, I don't know if you know, but like a couple of years ago, Burberry decided to burn. Well, it's not just them, but a lot of like different high fashion designer companies. They decided to burn a lot of their unsold merchandise instead of putting it on a sale. And so, like, a lot of people boycotted that. But so it depends, like, also, like, the brands you follow, if they align with your moral, like, values and stuff like that. And then, like, going from there, like that's obviously a disadvantage. But, like, if you're going to, like, hype beast culture and, like, the areas that I'm in, that culture is, like, super dangerous, especially because that in that culture, people like to just throw money at brands just to show off how much they can spend, even though it may not be a wise decision.
well, you said that it could be dangerous. Do you have like a story when you were like when you had something that you either like let's say you were buying clothes or whatever, you're buying sneakers, jewelry, whatever it was. Like do you got a story that you can share with some people to let them know that it could be a little risky when you're buying and selling, like the whole resale market or whatever? Do you have any stories for that?
Yeah, for sure. So there was one time I was waiting online for Supreme drop in DSM, New York.
You better get really deep with this.
What do you mean really deep?
Like what was the
Dover
weather?
Street Market. It's
Like
like
give me I need address. I need
I don't know. I don't know
listen, listen. I
address.
need address, I need weather, I need temperature, I need to know the circumference of your butthole. How big was
yo.
it? I'm just asking, bro. Was it tight? Were you nervous?
Hey,
Or was
yo.
it like a little
Hey,
loose?
yo.
Like were
Hey,
you
yo.
were you
Hey.
I'm just asking. All right. Just tell us, just give us in
Bruh.
in regular detail
Bruh.
how you were feeling. Just tell us, just give us just start from the beginning and just
Alright,
in
so,
decent detail. Come on.
I don't know how long ago this was, but it was like kind of long, maybe like a year now. So I was waiting on a Supreme drop. It was Supreme North Face that was dropping in Dover Street Market, which is a store in Manhattan. And so they were having two drops that day. They were having the Cactus Plant Flea Market drop, which is another like whole other hype brand, as well as the Supreme drop on the same day. So I was waiting on the Supreme drop, and like as always, like there's some organization, but for the most part, it's really not. And so like I go on, I like go buy my stuff. I end up spending over $1,000 that day, and then I walk out the store, and then this guy just approaches me, and he's like, "Oh, you trying to sell? You trying to sell?" Which is like super common, especially for like Supreme jobs. Like if you go to any Supreme store, there'll be always a couple of guys on the corner trying to buy from you as soon as you walk out the store. And so this guy comes up to me and he's like, "You trying to sell? You trying to sell?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm good." Cause like it's against Supreme's policy to sell like to sell as resale.
It happens though, like
Yeah,
like
most
like
definitely
like
happens.
all the time.
All
Yeah.
the time, dude. But like especially if you do it outside the store, like they can just be like, "Oh, look at that guy. I'm just gonna ban him from the store." So like better not risk it, you know? But so I walk out the store and this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, do you want to sell? Do you want to sell?" And I was like, "Nah." And he was like with like three or four guys next to him, like huddling him, and I was just like, "Nah, bro." So they were all like watching me, and then I'm walking to the train, and I'm carrying this really big Dover Street Market bag, which isn't like, it's not low key. And then I'm literally walking. It's like maybe an 8 or 10 block walk, and there's one of those guys that's following me 1 block back till I get to the train station. As soon as I get into the train station, I see this dude literally turn around and walk back. But this dude, part of that group, was literally following me to the train station. And it was just, I was so creeped out, dude. I was just like, "Get me out of here ASAP." But yeah, it's just, people will do anything for $1 these days.
It's crazy to think about though how like it's if you just simplify it, like if you dumb it down, if you bring it down to like Bill Nye the Science Guy type level, and you think about it, it's like people are willing to mug you over fabric. Like think about it, right? Like fabric. People are willing just because it says what? What was the brand name? What was it?
North Face, like the jacket company.
Well,
Do you know them?
Yeah, North Face.
Yeah,
They
it was
were
North Face and Supreme.
they were gonna mug him over North Face and
over
Supreme.
2 jackets and 2 t-shirts.
Bro, get your ass over to the thrift shop. $5.99.99, bro. That's all you need. People are willing to mug over freaking jackets.
It's
Jesus
a jacket,
Christ. But that's incredible to think about that people are willing to go to that length.
No, it's the thing though, because like the thing about it is like in Asian markets, whatever is in the American markets is like maybe 2 or 3 times the price in the Asian market. So like everything that's worth something here, like all the hype beast brands like Supreme or Bape or whatever, all those hype beast brands, whatever they're worth here, they may be double retail here. But whatever they're worth here, they're worth maybe double that or triple that in the Asian market. So that's why a lot of people will come here, purchase from here, and send back to Asia and sell there because the profits are much, much higher.
Hey, shout out to Xi Jinping, yo. President of China. Shout out, bro.
What?
Yo, the Asian market. Yo, he runs it, bro.
Yo, for real.
He runs it. Yo, under his suits, he's probably just rocking Supreme and Bape.
Yo, for real.
He takes off his suit and there's just a box logo Supreme.
Yo, for real. That's mad funny.
Yo, can you imagine this motherfucking crip walk?
Just see him in the background in the Snoop video, just doing the
Oh
crip
my
walk.
god,
That's
Jesus
man funny.
Christ. Uh,
Yeah, but like whatever it's worth here, it's worth so much more over there. But like that's the thing. It always goes back to like whatever you want to style. Like if you want to style like hype stuff, like whatever's the rapper style, most of them style like hype and designer stuff. Like if you want to be like a rapper, you're obviously gonna spend a lot of money. But like if you want to style something from a thrift shop, you can look nice and not spend that much. You know, it just depends on what you want to style, how you style it, and what brands you like and are into.
it's also like wild to think about how like all these, or not all these, like a lot of these streetwear companies made such a huge impact in the New York City area. How a lot of them were how like New York City has like a an impact on fashion, and how the fashion kind of has an impact on New York City. Let's talk about how different clothing brands have been inspired by the locations that they started out in. Like different brands started out in California, different brands started out in different parts of the United States and different parts of the world. So, how do you think those brands were influenced by the places that they started out in?
So like take Stussy out in California. So it was like one of the first streetwear brands that started out in like 1980. And so like if you look at Stussy, it's like super popular. Like a lot of people know about it. It's not super expensive because streetwear usually isn't, but
It's not supposed to be,
it's
right?
not supposed to be. Like streetwear is like some like a style of clothing that you would put on every day. Like, you know, if you're going to work, walking back from work, you would wear that as in like super casual wear that you could wear out on the streets and feel super comfortable. So Stussy started out in California in like the 1980s. And if you look at their clothing compared to like New York brands, let's say, um, they focus a lot on like t-shirts and shorts and a lot of like super like thin material jackets and like super like durable, stretchy, like breathable materials because that's like the temperature in California. Like it's super influenced by skateboarding, it's super influenced by surfing, and it's super nice all year round. Like, of course, they're not gonna have like super heavyweight jackets like brands in New York, but they would also stay true to themselves, you know? So they would have these specific types of clothing, and that's how their environment and their location would influence the brand itself. But like take like Supreme for example, who started in New York in '94. Like they have most brands have a spring season and then fall winter, but if you look at Supreme itself, even their spring season has jackets. So you know that they're influenced by the New York weather where it's cold for most of the year, even in the spring it's cold. Like look at now, it's May and it just snowed. So it's still influenced by the environment. Like they still sell t-shirts and pants and then, like shorts and stuff like that, but they also are influenced by the weather and they sell a lot more jackets than like a California brand like Stussy.
All right. I know that you do a lot of buying and selling, as we've mentioned multiple times. How do you get your steals and deals, for lack of better words? What's your course of action?
So if you're not like super close with me, you know that I don't like to pay full price for anything. Like if it's not Supreme, then you can't really not pay full price. But like in terms of like designer stuff and in terms of like shoes and stuff like that, like I never like to pay full price for anything. And I feel like that's a lot of people. It's just they don't know where to look. Like some good resources are like if you look on eBay and if you do a legit check yourself, it'll save you a lot more money than paying a company to do a legit check for you. So if you use like Reddit, like you purchase stuff from Reddit, and which may seem weird because like you wouldn't expect that, but Reddit has a really big Supreme community. And like if you stay away from those large platforms, like StockX right now is having problems. I'm not like buying or selling on StockX right now. But if you look at Goat for shoes and like designer stuff, They usually have deals. If you look at Reddit, on some subreddits, they have a lot of stuff. It's just you have to know where to look. And if you look in your thrift shops, there's like it might surprise you. Like people like if you're not into thrift shops, it might seem like there's a bad connotation to it. Like, oh, I'm wearing someone else's clothes. But like nowadays, like clothing recycling is like becoming an issue because there are so many people that buy clothes that they never use and end up throwing away. So that's like clothing that goes straight to the landfill. If you look at thrift shops, there might be some things in there that may surprise you. I don't know. I just feel like people think thrifting has like a bad connotation, but it's really not. If you just look in the right places, then you can actually find a lot of stuff for under retail.
Well, it's something to think about. And for all you guys that are interested in that type of stuff, definitely keep doing your research. Research. It's always important. Do you have like a little skill that you do? I know you look at like tags and stuff like that. Like if you're doing your own personal verification if an item is real or if it's fake, and guys, there are a lot of fake,
We don't condone
yeah,
fakes at all. Don't
yeah.
buy fakes.
Shout out to Chinese president. Thank you for what you do for ruining this culture.
Whatever her name is.
Whatever her name is. Well, what's your like strategy to if you're self authenticating?
So what you do is just look online. Like that's what like people lack to do. They just don't know if something's authentic or not. But there are so many guides online. Like literally just type in into Google and there are so many guides online to self authenticate and know if the item is real or not. And that's how you also save a lot of money. You wouldn't need someone else to authenticate it for you. If you go on Reddit and stuff like that, there's so many people that are so knowledgeable of clothing that can help you out if you just ask. There's Discords, there's Reddit, like subreddits, there's a bunch of different resources that people can use and to authenticate themselves without spending so much extra money.
Well, thank you for that, and hope you guys are staying safe. I don't know.
Yeah, stay safe out there.
Stay safe out there. Be sure to subscribe if you want. I don't really care.
Hit the like.
You know what? Don't ring the notification button. Bell, the notification. You know what? Leave us a question in the comment section if you're interested about something. We'll try and answer it next podcast.
You could DM us. My DMs are always open.
His DMs are open, always open. Ladies, preferably plump ladies, please hit him up. But as always, this is the Pastrami Sandwich Podcast. Thank you guys for joining. Catch you next time.
Peace.